What is up? What is up? Welcome back to another NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler, and we've got Bobby Gomes back in the house. Bobby, I messaged you quite frustrated because, as we're going along, I'm just adding to my lineup, right? And you gave us all this great value, right? So much value that I was able to stack Embiid and Giannis, right, into a lineup, right? And I'm looking at, and the value you gave out, right, they did pretty good. Not all fires, right, but no snowflakes, some fires, and just some guys hitting their projections, right? And then after lock, Joel Embiid is ruled out. It's just utterly terrible for DFS players, for bettors, and even for fans. Imagine you drive to the game and then he's out before the game. I mean, I guess it's not that much different if he's out at 9 a.m, but still. There are rules about this, and Adam Silver has not been enforcing them. I'm actually pretty upset with him. It isn't that hard, right? In the NFL, 90 minutes before lock, you have to turn in your lineup, right? If the guy's not on the list, you're not on the 46, you can't switch out 5 minutes before the game. The NBA needs to start enforcing these rules. Rant over. Bobby, how are you today?
All right. Last night wasn't great. My box bet wasn't good. I know the DFS value was all right. I played more NFL and was just more on the Cardinal side. And yeah, that was pretty much my DFS night in general. The Embiid situation, like you said, it's tough in DFS. And yeah, Silver embraces gambling, but it would be nice to see him maybe just take the consideration of the gamblers, and if situations like that arise, I'm sure casinos kind of deal with that. But for a DFS player, if you're playing Embiid, it's a tough situation. They do have to get these with all the health issues with COVID and stuff like that. Like there should be. I know they want to allow leniency, but that shouldn't be an excuse for them doing it now. Like they did it prior. Like if they're embracing gambling, they should be giving out a full injury report.
Yeah, and of course, like, you mentioned beforehand, and I can't remember the night that the DraftKings refunded everybody, but with them not doing it, right, you'd think like, well, if DraftKings gets all these emails, maybe they'll put some pressure on the league since, these gamblers, right? This is like one of the top income streams now for the NBA and their partners, just really disappointed what they're doing. And it's not that hard, right? You just turn it in 90 minutes before the game, something to that effect. This isn't something that we should still be dealing with in 2021. Tyler, that was pretty disappointing. We missed the Bucks. I mean, wow, I was really surprised. The Celtics did everything that they said that we weren't do, right? They look like such a more coherent team. What were your takeaways from last night?
Yeah, I mean, we missed that one. I missed the Mobley prop. He got the 9 points. He shot 3 for 11 yesterday against a small Heat team. So PJ,
and they still won by 11, right?
Yeah, they still won the game by 11. The lucky part about the Embiid prop is you get your money back from that one because he's just rolled inactive. But other than that, I mean, it's still just a train wreck for injuries. It's been like this for, 3 years now?
No, I'd say this is worse than ever. This is absolutely worse than ever. So, and we'll just have to make do, right? I actually was working on an article this morning about the Lakers and the Mavericks, and I don't know if AD or Luka is going to play. So it's very tough, but we're going to make our best to what I say, navigate these choppy waters. And hey, it wasn't all bad yesterday, right? I looked through, right? So Pacers and the Warriors, I don't remember us having a big stand on it, right? We were on the Cavaliers. We like that. I gave out the Raptors as the best bet. I mean, that was easy, right? I mean, that was a no sweat winner. Gave you the Rockets, right? I said to take the points. They won outright. That was fantastic. Flubbed on the Bucks. I don't remember us having a Sixers Grizzlies pick, but even if we pick the Sixers, like I said, like how can you even fault us for not knowing there? I don't remember us having a Hornets Mavericks, but then I remember Bobby was big on the Nuggets. They won as well. And then, of course, I flubbed on the Suns. We thought the Suns were going to do much better than they did against the Clippers without Paul George. So, a mediocre night for us, but guess what? We get a chance to bounce back today, and I cannot wait to break down this 3-game slate, especially with you, Bobby, because this is going to be really interesting to see how this goes for the DFS. So on a short slate, I have I have takes on each game because, it wasn't like yesterday where you can just skip over something. And, if you didn't like it or your number came out the same. I did some deep dive into all of them, and we will see where we land. I'm pulling up the numbers at Bookmaker right now, but I think we're going to start with the marquee matchup of the evening. That's right. The Golden State Warriors are now -5 against the New York Knicks. Of course, Steph Curry will break the record tonight. He only needs 2 to break the record. So, that little manufactured media drama is over. And my quick take on that, right? I mean, back when Larry Bird played, they weren't allowed to shoot threes, right? When Rick Barry played, he constantly lobbied his coach to be able to shoot more 3-pointers, and his coach said no, right? He was the first one on this. So while it is a great record, and while I won't even argue that Steph could be the greatest shooter of all time, to me, like, it's not like when, Mark McGuire broke Roger Maris's record, right? I mean, this isn't some huge record, and it just shows, how much they're kind of manufacturing stories in the NBA. But regardless, this is the one they manufactured tonight. And because of it, I'm on an island here, Tyler, because I've talked to people, I've watched other shows. Everybody seems to like the Warriors. And I don't know. I'm really worried about this Warriors team. Obviously, they lost to the Pacers last night. And then did you see what happened, guys? They weren't able to get out of Indiana. I think they're on a flight right now. I don't know, because I get my times mixed up. They might have actually landed already, but they had to fly today. And if it had been more than one time zone, the NBA would have canceled the game, because you're not supposed to fly more than 2 time zones on the game day. It's only 1 time zone for them. But this will be really interesting. I think this is going to be a tired Warriors team, and I want to see how this team responds after Steph breaks the record. Like, is it a sigh of relief, or is it the monkey's off our back? Now we're going to play more loose, more fresh. I think the Knicks have no pressure tonight. I can't believe the opening line I thought was right. It was 3. Now it's out to +5. Tyler, I'm taking your team. Am I crazy?
I mean, I think so, because looking at this injury report, they're not going to have Barrett. They're not going to have Obi Toppin. They're not going to have Quentin Grimes. I mean, those are key guys.
Barrett's Are they though? Like, what does Obi really do? Barrett is. But
those
Obi and
guys
Quentin
are
Grimes,
rotation players, though, Spread. So, now you're digging into like a Kevin Knox, and them guys are going to be playing. Golden State's kind of in a rut, but they want to right that ship and get a W. I think Golden State's going to blow them out here. I just
so you're not concerned with the same day travel like I am?
No, I mean, I think they'll be fine.
Okay. Bobby, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it should be a tight rotation for the Knicks. Burks, Quickly, Randall, Derrick Rose on the DFS side. Maybe you could find value with Knox a little bit. And then in terms of Steph and coming into this whole situation, like if KD is out, Harden becomes the best spend, but Steph and Madison Square going after the record, you obviously have to consider him in GPPs. I guarantee you he'll be in someone's core or in multiple cores on RPS. In terms of the game, I think I'm going to lean with the Warriors.
All right. So see, I'm on an island, so I can't wait to go over this with you guys. I think I'll be the only one, right? So if you log on to your Action Network or whatever logs all the bets, and it's 99% to 1% on Warriors tickets, you'll know who's holding the 1%. Because I bet it at 3, and then I bet it again at 5. So I just think that this is one of those times where people are it's like, I mean, the Knicks are not that bad. For them to be laying 5 at home, I don't know. So Tyler, if there wasn't these injuries, so if it was a clean injury report, would you agree with me here? I mean, is it really the injuries there, or is it just, the Warriors are that much better?
I mean, I think the Warriors are better offensively, but I mean, you're missing Barrett, who's a starter. I think it's missing the guys that are in the rotation. Like, because now, just like I said, you're digging into guys that shouldn't be playing. Like, they're bench warmers. Now they're going to have to play with these guys out. So I like the Warriors here. And we were talking about Steph in Madison Square Garden. His points props all the way down to 26.5. It was all the way up to 29.5 points this year. I like the over there.
Okay. So what do you think as far as spend ups, Bobby? Is he the best spend up on the slate?
I think he's the second best right now. I would say Harden, just because we're waiting on that KD news, and I think KD being out would definitely boost Harden. If you want to pivot, you could obviously go to Steph. I would stand Harden with that KD news, but if not, I pay the extra $300 to get to Steph. I don't see why it would make sense regardless, but if I had to choose Harden.
All right. Bobski's in the chat. Bobski brings up some good points. You think Curry is going to go off tonight with it being his historic night? I'm all over his props tonight. Think of hitting his alternate 3-point lines up to 10 threes made and Curry 50+ points at +2,000. Tyler, you're bullish. You're more bullish on the Warriors than I am. Go ahead and break down Bobski's ideas here.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's a nice price, but I wouldn't go like crazy on the props. Like, I just sprinkle some like fun play money on it, especially at the 10 threes, because I'm not sure how many times he's hit that prop, but Those are fun ones.
I mean, yeah, but if you're at plus 2,000, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
fun. You throw $10 down, you can get $200. So, all right, Bobski. Kaiser C says the Warriors cover. And Tyler, as soon as this is done, great album. Don't know if you hear it, but I'm going to be bumping it, right? Tupac's first solo album, Me Against the World. Looks like that's going to be my theme song for the evening. Bobby, anything more from the DFS aspects on this game, or do you want to move to the next one?
Yeah, maybe Bobski got me kind of thinking about switching my Harden pick to Curry. I'm going to go Curry over Harden in DFS. My favorite spin.
Okay. Curry over Harden. Nobody's worried about the rest. I'm on an island. This should be a lot of fun. So this makes the game more exciting, right? Because a lot of times we agree, especially because we all do kind of network and talk to each other. So, talking to Tyler, right, I pick up a lot of his ideas. If he shows me something, I see it that evening, so it's kind of fun. We'll see how this one turns out. Toronto Raptors are down to +5. They were +8.5 when I sent my article on this morning. I made it -8.5. Maybe I was just giving out the alternate line. That was a mistake, though. I was planning to grab the points. Now it's down to 5. The Brooklyn Nets -5. Why is that? Well, let's look. It's because why aren't all the people on here? Why is Basketball Monster not giving me all the names here of all the guys that got rolled out?
Yeah, I was about to say, I know James Johnson's one of them.
James Johnson, and I'm about to do off the top of my head. They're messing with me, man. That's messed up. Let me refresh this. It was James Johnson. All right, I'll look it up real quick. While I do that, it's 4 major players. DeAndre Bembry's one of them.
Aldridge
LaMarcus Aldridge is one of them.
Yeah,
and
Aldridge.
Someone that didn't play very much. But Bembry, Aldridge, and James Johnson were the major players there. What are your thoughts on this game, Tyler? I loved it at 8.5. Now I think the line's about fair. To me, it was 6.5 before the people were out. How much do you move for Johnson, Aldridge, and Bembry? 1.5 seems fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say 1.5, but I'm going to throw the side out because I could see it going either way. I could see KD playing, them exploding, or Harden having a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the under here. Both teams are playing very good defense, and they're both in like a shooting slump. I like the under here at 216.
You like the under, huh?
Yep.
Bobby, what are your thoughts on this
for
game?
The Raptors?
Yeah, so being it like just in terms of picking the side, I think I'd lean the Raptors, especially if KD ends up sitting. Where were you guys at? Sorry, I was checking something out quick.
Yeah, I like the Raptors at the original or 8.5. Now I think the number's pretty close to right. You got to remember the Raptors did play last night. How competitive that was. Obviously that was just a nice jog down at 24 Hour Fitness. Defeating the Kings. It wasn't tough for them at all. But then of course the travel to Brooklyn. But according to you guys, travel doesn't matter, right? So the Raptors should be fine, right? And they even got to leave the night before. So.
I'll stick with the Raptors at 5.
All right. Yeah. Andrew G says, how do the Raps not cover? The Nets have like 9 players. And that my answer, I guess, would be if KD and Harden play, that they have the 2 best players on the floor, right? But yeah, I like they're there. So Andrew G doesn't think KD's going to play. If KD's not going to play, should I just grab this 5 right now? It's going to drop to like 2. Wouldn't you agree?
Maybe you should take the money line.
I wish I would have taken it this morning.
You think about it, if it's just Harden out there, they do have the guards to like give him some problems on the defensive end. So I think they will win that game if KD sits.
Yeah, let's jump in here right now for a little bit less. That'll be interesting. So, all right. So we've talked about that, and you like the under there. I didn't really have a place on the total. I don't trust my totals model at all right now. Bobby, what are your thoughts on DFS?
Yeah, so I'm basically kind of hit on when we talked about Steph. If KD's out, Harden is like a lock playing cash. Definitely want to play him. Definitely wouldn't be fading him by any means. Nick Claxton is a guy who's going to stand out with a lot of projection sites. I think it has to do with Aldridge, Millsap. They're just down bigs, short bench, it seems like. I think Claxton will be like the main value and the guy that kind of puts your teams together at 3-1. Outside of that, like Boucher again, I think he'll be chalky. He's up to 4.8 now. Both him and Claxton are going to be tremendous values. They are going against each other. I think that should be noted, but I don't think it really matters on a 3-game slate. Like, it's fine to play it that way. Barnes, I think, is a great play. He's really coming into his own. Don't mind Van Fleet. They just see so many minutes with Nurse, right? So I think all these guys are fine. I think Siakam would be the one that, if I had a list, my favorite out of the studs from this side, I would probably lean Siakam just because of bigs and how they have done well versus the Nets, especially now you have Claxton there. Not that Siakam's like a physical big, but I think he can do well. He's also leverage off of a guy like Boucher, so you can definitely play them together. It's NBA, it's a 3-game slate, but just interesting for like a $15 GPP. Yeah, that would be my takes for this game.
All right, I got a couple that I was interested in. Cam Thomas, only 4K. What are your thoughts on him?
He's fine. Like in terms of just because of how short their rotation is and how many guys that they have. Like Cam Thomas, he's not the worst play. It's a 3-game slate, right? Like it's not a 10-game slate. We don't have a lot of options. It's the value is cool. Like I think you definitely play him and put him in your player pool.
All right, Blake Griffin, 3,400. Does he get run with Aldridge out?
What's his situation? Like, yeah, I think he gets run at 3,400. I think I prefer at the moment Cam Thomas. I want to get starters and stuff. And okay. I think Griffin, these guys are all in play just because of how many guys they have.
All right. Richie's got a question, and this one's for you since you're the expert here. What are your 2 spend ups between Steph, Harden, and Dame? You only get 2.
Steph and Harden.
Right.
I don't really have a ton of interest in Dame.
Andrew's worried if they Nets lose one more player, they're one player away from protocol from canceling the game. Yeah, that would be too bad. I'm worried they're going to cancel that Lakers Mavericks that I spent this morning writing up too. So we will see how it goes. Bobski's asking this one for you, Tyler. I think Claxton over 7.5 points, -125 is a strong bet. He's going to get at least a couple alley-oops off the pick and roll with Harden. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like that bet. He's definitely going to get some run here. Boucher's not like a great big man in the paint either, so you could definitely just grab some rebounds and lay those back in on the offensive glass. I want to see if I can find a Cam Thomas number because this could be a big game for him. He could get hot.
I threw Thomas and Claxton in this little. I usually make lineups while we're talking, right? I put Thomas and Claxton both in there, and that's a combined 7,100. So I'll definitely be able to rock that 2 spend up lineup. You know, if I want Stephen Harden in there, I will be able to afford it. Let's move on to the next game, and we'll start with the comment from Viral Video, Fading Suns for today. I agree with you, Viral. Man, so I watched that Phoenix game last night. I thought they were going to do pretty good against the Clippers. That was one of my big whiffs. I mean, I just whiffed that one altogether. I'd say the Bucks and the Suns were my 2 big whiffs. I think the Bucks was more inexplicable. The Suns, I should have known. I mean, boy, without Booker and Ayton, and Ayton's still questionable, right? So we got to wait on that news before we fire on this game. But boy, it reminded me of, remember when Chris Paul was like dragging around that OKC team towards the end? I mean, they just could not keep up. Even against the Clippers team, they didn't have Paul George in there. They just really struggled on the offensive end. They're really Chris Paul dependent. They're in Los Angeles last night. They traveled to Portland tonight. And Portland, right, been playing terrible, right? But Dame Lillard, this is his second game back. Hopefully he'll be a little more comfortable here. I like Portland to get it done. A lot of people against me here. So like I said, it's me against the world today. People seem to like the Suns regardless. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one for me because what is it? Is this going to be Dame's first game back or is he played?
No, he played against Minnesota, but they lost by 9, if I remember.
Okay, so he's still getting his way worked back in. There's still no CJ. So, I mean, I think if Ayton's out, Nurkic should have a big game down low. And they do play better at home, so small lean to the Portland side. But I think you got to wait and see that Ayton news before you bet this game.
Yeah, okay. So, but here's the thing: if Ayton plays, it's still a no play for me. I don't know. I don't want to back the Suns right now. Am I that crazy?
No, I mean, I don't think you're that crazy. I think the best bet on the board today is the under in that Toronto game. But I mean, it is Phoenix. They are the better led team, but they are missing their best player. And, I mean, if Bridges goes on Lillard, they could easily win this game.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see here. I like Portland. They're so much better at home, but you make some great points. Bobby, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so for me, I think I'd take the Blazers here. I think CP3, Crowder, Ayton, they're all in play, assuming Ayton plays for DFS. I think they grade out as good like cash game plays, just because of the value. If Ayton were to sit, McGee would be fine. Yeah, Chris Paul would definitely be my favorite. I think he stands out as a really good play on the slate. If you're not building up to that 2 stud build and you're building a middling build or just playing cash, I think Paul works even in cash games. McGee, I think, is interesting. Ayton gets kicked. McGee, fantasy point per minute. He becomes a really good play on the slate, and it's the latest game on the slate. Yeah, that's pretty much Portland Phoenix.
All right, yeah. So it's an interesting game here. I'll definitely be watching this one regardless. If Ayton's out though, I really like the Blazers here, so I think this will be a good spot for him. My last question for you on the DFS side will be, how about my guy Norm Powell? Any interest in him?
Norm, good old Norm, right? As of right now, no, not a ton of interest. I can see why you'd have some. I don't play a ton of Norman Powell. I probably, if he's your guy, I just, for whatever reason, he's a guy I don't get right. On a 3-game slate, actually, I think you could probably play Norm Powell. He's at 6K. He kind of goes against like that 2 stud build, which I think if KD gets ruled out, everyone's going to kind of go to. So maybe Powell at 6K is fine. I just would take, if you like him, I'll go with him. I just don't want to give a take on him because don't get him right.
All right, and that is fine. So, all right, 3-game slate. We went through it pretty quickly. Tyler, what is your favorite bet for the day, side total or prop?
My favorite's going to be that under in that Toronto-Brooklyn game. I just don't see a lot of points coming in that game, and I expect KD to sit, and I think that total is going to drop down closer to 210, so I want to grab it now.
All right, so Tyler likes the under. Bobby, what's your best bet for today, side total or prop?
Best bet. I'm going to take that under as well. Can I do that? Can we double down?
Sure, why not? There's only 3-game slate, so I mean we don't.
Yeah, there's not a lot of. That's what I'm saying. There's not a ton of options. So.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go crazy. Give me the New York Knicks +5. I still can't believe they're catching this many points at home against a Warriors team that's really tired. Me against the world. If you don't tail me today, that's fine, right? Because you'll just be tailing like pretty much every other person who follows the NBA. But let's see if the Knicks can get it done in what should be a very exciting game tonight. Bobby, do you want to let everyone know the rest of the content that Run Pure Sports will be producing this week?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of NFL content. Me and Big T are going to be down in Miami for the live final for DraftKings. NBA content tonight. We have Cores. Playbook, AP did it today, did a really good job. I was just looking at it, reading off some stuff because I was running around all day today, basically preparing for this trip. Yeah, and we also like NFL, pretty much the wood shows, the main shows. I know this is an NBA show, so probably shouldn't be telling NFL too much, but I know you guys do it.
No, it's fine. Everyone wants to know what the content is. So, and this is golf. You can give that up.
Yeah. Yeah, just get all core plays, playbooks for all NBA and NFL.
All right. Tyler, any more thoughts for the people? Do you have any hot NBA takes that you want to put out there?
I mean, nothing right now. I just see the Lakers might trade Russ. I'm pretty sure that's news everyone else has heard.
To who? Yeah, I mean, we haven't been going on that long.
Who are they for Schroeder? Like, who are they? What's the deal?
Who wants Russ?
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about is who's going to trade for him, but that's what the rumor is.
They just
looks at their team and says, "I need a ball dominant guard who can't shoot."
Yeah, that is true. They're gonna have to trade him to China.
I mean, I saw that too. I think that like THT is a more attractive trade piece. At least he's young and he can get better.
Yeah, and he doesn't have half the contract price.
Yeah, I was just so surprised when they said that. I'm just like, I don't know who's gonna take him in the first place. I was so surprised when they traded for him together. I mean, even going through all the teams in the league, like where does he fit? Like, what team gets him and they go, okay, we're better now, right? I mean, it's just wild to me. Yeah,
there's nowhere you can. There's such a lack of value in the NBA, especially the point guard position. I feel like it's all like wing value, right? And like the main stud point guards are locked up. Like who are you?
I feel like the one team that could take him would be like, we'll figure out how to use them. Would be like a Miami. Like put them next to a Butler, the Hero, and Robinson can shoot the threes, and those two are just dogging the other team the whole game.
I guess, but I mean,
they have Lowry. Like,
yeah.
Why would you swap Lowry for Russ?
No, I don't think they'll make that trade, but I think that's the one team like that would actually maybe he'd work on.
I honestly can't think of a team like he.
Like the Pelicans is the only one I can think of.
Yeah, someone
Like you
where
have
he
to
gets
be
all
really
these
bad.
Well, Lakers bringing back Brandon Ingram.
I mean, why would you give up Brandon Ingram for Russ?
Yeah, you'd have to trade like 5 first-round picks with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
They would,
unbelievable.
they would hit them over the head for Ingram.
Yeah, I was listening to some of those trade talk pods today. It'll be interesting to see what fleshes out because it's always something that's completely unexpected, right?
How can they fix the Celtics? We need a distributing point guard. Like who's a point guard that can involve both Tatum and Jalen within an offense so they don't keep clashing?
I think you're gonna have to trade Jalen. Hate to say it, but
yeah, I think
for who? Bradley Beal? It's like the same player.
Maybe you get involved in this Indiana talk and take 2 of their guys. Take a Sabonis.
You grab Sabonis and Turner.
Yeah, or you take Sabonis
keep them together.
Or you try and swindle them into Sabonis and Brogdon.
They won't do that for Jalen. They have LeVert.
They want them all gone.
Then they're the Celtics of basically Indiana. They have 2 wings.
Yeah, I guess so. I just read that those guys don't get along that well. You know, I mean, it's just, and it seems
I think they're going to have the same case like the OKC guys had. Like they look really good together, and then you're going to separate them and be like, oh, these guys look even better separated.
They don't even look good together though. Like OKC, like one of the conference finals with that stud.
Well, you guys went to the bubble conference finals. It doesn't really count because
with Kyrie and we went to the.
They went to the conference finals like 2 years before that spread when Tatum was a rookie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That was a way different team though, right?
It's kind of a different situation. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Boston gets involved here. I think Indiana is definitely going to shake everything up. Minnesota is going to be active. I believe too. They're pretty excited, and I hope that the Kings finally sell off. But we've been saying that for 3 years, and they haven't. But I mean, I think we got some pieces that could help people. Get rid of Fox. I think Harrison Barnes helps the team. Even like Boston, I think he'd fit in. For a first rounder for Harrison Barnes, I think he helps that team. I would be interested to see.
I want Halliburton. Give me I like Hallie.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the combination's not working. It's great to draft the best player available, right? But it's almost like Sabonis and Turner. When you're redundant at the same position,
You're saying it like they meant to draft the best player available spread. They walked into that one.
I would love to see what they're offering Westbrook for, just to be a fly on the wall to see and laugh. I can only imagine. Like, how do you even get? Where are they trying to get back? Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, who's picking up the phone? I just don't see any team that he fits in on. Like, he doesn't fit in on Utah, right? I mean, like all these teams, like who does he help besides just the most terrible teams?
Yeah, I don't. Do people really? Does the Lakers front office believe that everyone still thinks he's has a star status or someone who impacts the game?
Probably. That is a Lakers thing to do.
Like they're the only team in the league then.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so crazy how that's all working out. So we will see how that turns out and see if they turn a trade for him. I think it's going to be real hard in season. I think he'll have to wait till the off season and then another season.
The crazy part about it is it's LeBron who probably brought him in, and now he's probably the one. Time to go, Russ. Pack your bag.
I also think the rumors come out at this point of the year because it's kind of hard to generate content over and over again. Like even me, when I'm writing these articles about these teams, I've written about the Nets 15 times already this season, right? What else more is there to say about how good Kevin Durant is? And, Harden's getting in shape. Patty Mills has been pretty good, right? LaMarcus Aldridge playing better than normal. Team probably still needs some wings. Is Kyrie going to play? So I think some of this stuff, these guys are just, they're starved for content. They're trying to generate. I don't know. I'd be really surprised if he gets traded just because I just don't know who takes him. Short of taking 3 first-round picks on, but even then, the Lakers would just be using the cap space to try and acquire other people, right? So it's a 3-way trade. I'd be really interested to see how it turns out. So, all right, guys. Any other crazy trade rumors you want to address before we sign off?
No, I got nothing else.
Yeah. Let's hope the Kings blow it up. Hopefully De'Aaron Fox is coming to a good franchise somewhere near you so he can finally develop and become a great NBA player that people know about. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Adam Silver, if you're watching, grow a spine and start finding these teams when they openly flaunt the rules that you've created. You're supposed to turn this in but by 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, that's when these injury reports are supposed to come in. No more of this scratching before game time. And DK should start giving refunds. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and run pure.